Give me my wig back.
Aquaman.
Fuck you, Amber.
That's one way to start it off.
All
right, okay. That's all right.
Welcome to the Truffle Shuffle Podcast.
Truffle Puffle.
The Huffle Podcast, where all the ghosts and ghouls from Hufflepuffle are here.
What the
Hufflepuffs
hell
are
is a
particularly
Hufflepuffle?
good finds.
As you can tell, I did not watch the movie.
What the hell is a Hufflepuff?
Hufflepuffer.
Hufflepuffle.
Hufflepuffle.
All right, well,
Gryffindor! Sorry.
what
Sorry.
episode are we on?
We
What
are
is
on
this?
19.
We've done this shit 19 times, and we have a total of 19 views.
And we still have
Congratulations.
no fucking idea what we're doing.
Well, first off, can we just say it's very hard to do a current event podcast in this world we live in right now, because it's depressing as shit out there. If you look at your screen, you'll see a very ill-timed meme.
For 10 minutes.
It's Mr. Incredible. I just cleaned up this mess. Can we keep it clean for 10 minutes?
I mean, I've got a few funny stories that'll bring it up after we bring it all the way down
Oh,
to
yeah,
depression.
I've got a nice story that I'm going to
Death.
have to bring up in the middle of our topic because shit's about to get... There's
Real.
nothing good to talk about.
There's
like,
some good stuff.
There's a...
Do you want me to name a few of them?
All right, well, let's start with a good one before we get in the depressing shit that happens.
I'll start with a funny one.
Okay, go
Even.
ahead.
Metallica Baby. Woman gives birth at Brazil Stadium show as band plays Enter Sandman.
Haven't you brought this up before?
No,
Or where did I hear that?
I don't know.
Bob and Tom.
She was 39 weeks pregnant and sitting in a special area, of course, at a Metallica show in Brazil. When her contractions began during the set, she's like, "I'm staying. I paid all my money. I'm staying." Or
It's
however,
my favorite song.
I bought these tickets 39 weeks ago.
some guy's sitting there with a baseball glove underneath her, just like, "Come on."
Little catcher's mitt.
By the way, she missed out on the opportunity of a lifetime to name him Sandman. Because he
Why would you
he-
name your
because-
child?
he entered during Enter Sandman.
Actually, he exited.
Oh,
If you called
Entered the
your
world?
child Sandman,
he didn't.
what'd they name him?
I can't pronounce that.
What'd they name it?
I can't pronounce
Dylan. Nice.
that. Luan Figueroa.
What was that?
You fucking read
What?
it.
Why did you make
right
it
there.
Italian?
Which one is it?
Oh, that's
you
Reddit.
even did the
Brazilian.
fingers.
It's Spanish.
Nigga.
2-day old Juan. Oh, that's an L. That's a
Lon
2-day-old Lon
Figueroa.
Gabriel.
Figueroa.
Figaro.
Is it
Why
two
did I
L's?
put my hand out?
Figaro.
See me put
Figaro.
my-
Figaro. Figaro.
Is it like two L's?
Figueiro.
You lost me at F.
Metallica gig at another stadium I can't pronounce.
Gave birth to 3 more babies.
Lan,
To the
Juan,
sound-
in Taiwan.
This was written by somebody British.
British.
To the sound of Enter Sandman, according to his mum.
According to his mum.
Yeah, whatever. We won the war.
Mum's
Metallica have shared
Did we?
details of the birth. We didn't.
Did we win, or they have just not gotten here on their ships yet?
Well,
Wow, that brought
I
it to
mean,
a screech.
She bought tickets to this show 3 years ago. Oh yeah, she was like, "I'm fucking staying for this thing." She's like,
Could
there
you
was
just see
3
her-
songs left.
Could
The
you just
plan
see her
was to take her to the
screaming?
hospital by ambulance, but there was no more time.
Could you just see her, like, her screaming at her husband during the rock concert? This is your fault!
You did this to me. Exit your life. Enter.
They should have named him
So-
Grain.
what?
Grain of sand.
After Neverland. So there's one
Not a
funny
sponsor.
one. I have another funny one just to make this crappy freaking time we live in a little funnier.
Should we wait? You know, give it a
Let's
little...
space
Let's
these
do
out.
good, bad,
Because
Should
we're,
good,
we're
bad,
gonna need
good.
we're
We're
gonna
gonna
need
be
a
like,
few
Oh,
we're gonna need a few minutes of bad,
Oh.
and then we're gonna need to spruce this up.
Yeah,
all right.
So
I'll be back with more.
there's no
Aquaman.
easy way. Aquaman. There's no easy way to segment into this next one or segue into this next one.
A tragedy
Um,
has struck.
So there's a lot of shit going on in our countries. Our country. Oh my god. With Texas. Texas was the most latest shooting. in the country where we can't keep track of them anymore.
There was another shooting yesterday.
For fuck's sake, where at?
I just remembered where.
Well,
Is it a
let's focus on the
school
one
in-
at hand.
Continue. I'll look into it.
Okay, well, I don't know. This is a very
sheer amount of fuckery that went on in this entire story is there's just a lot of fuckery here.
Well, we'll get into the deeper stuff, but let's start at the top of the surface. You got half the people screaming that there should be. This is where it gets weird, because it's like people say gun control, but actually half of those people, when they say gun control, they mean there shouldn't be a single gun anywhere.
Yes.
But then the other half scream that you should have any gun and as many of them as you want. There's
Absolutely.
no in between.
Shall not be
It was in
infringed.
Michigan.
Huh?
Another one was in Michigan yesterday. Wait, what's today? The 28th, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it happened yesterday. And it
Was
looks
this at a
like
school?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people dead. Or no. 4 people dead, 1 injured.
So, okay, but here's the thing from
So
me,
stupid.
at least. Now, when you tune into Truffle Shuffle Podcast, you don't get actual facts. You get opinions. So, don't take our word for it. Make up your own mind. Don't be a follower. I was going to say don't be a sheep, but be a leader, not a follower. What?
That's the weirdest disclaimer there.
I know. It's just because it's like everybody has to think nowadays that everybody agrees
Think for
on
yourselves.
everything. Yes.
We will give you information. You can make your own judgment.
People have their own opinions. One is not always right, and sometimes none of them are right
I mean,
because you're
except
in a
for
situation.
mine. Shall not be infringed.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Well, because everybody's talking about
No
gun
snip on
control. Yeah, no step on snake. That's my ass, bro.
Stop.
Everybody's
Notice he
talking
didn't
about
say
the gun
stop.
control and then like all that kind of stuff. Nobody's talking about the fact that I don't have the actual percentage, but how many school shooters have mental illnesses?
All of them.
Pretty much.
Because normal people don't shoot up schools.
But here's a controversial thing. We just sent Clay. You're fact checking over there. How much money did we just send to Ukraine?
Oh, I'm looking at the mental illness.
Approximately.
56 billion over the course of 6 months.
It's been 56 billion now.
Yep.
56 billion taxpayer dollars we just sent to another country. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, that country is going through a hard fucking time. However, this country is falling apart.
They're also not an ally.
But it's like, stop sending money elsewhere. If we took 56 billion, okay, in the last few weeks, I have gone to parks. I went to a baseball game. I went and saw a show last night. Every single place that I walk into,
And he did that with $4.72.
Hey,
exactly, huh?
for the facts, if you're referring to specifically public mass shooters, a lone individual who goes out and shoots people in a public place like a school or anything, and more than 4 die, about 25% of those shooters have pre-incident mental illnesses, which is not much. He also addressed, this is talking about somebody did a paper on this, 4% of mass shooters have mental illness, a number he says is halfway correct. Oh, this was in the 90s, so this was a long time
Oh,
ago.
Jesus. Where'd you find an article from the 90s?
I didn't.
Jujel.
But that was like
Jujel.
one of the papers that he looked at.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, 25%, which is really not that much, but it could be undiagnosed.
A lot of the more recent ones, they're finding mental illness and all that.
And I hate
But
to say it, but if the person comes in and shoots up, like you said, they definitely have a mental illness. You're a fucking nut.
Yes.
But on top of that,
don't
how
that.
do you know they have a mental illness if you kill them and they've never been diagnosed? You can't see a mental illness through like a
Sure.
brain scan or
It's
something like that.
It's an unfalsifiable statement. Kind of like, it could be worse if we didn't do this. Right?
Well, so to the thing so every place that I've gone recently where there are people at, to go into a zoo, you have to walk through a metal detector.
Mm-hmm.
To walk into a baseball game, you have to do a metal detector. You have to go through security. To go into a show at like an arts center, you have to go in through security and all that kind of stuff.
And they check your bags.
They do. They check your bags, all that. Nobody gets offended. Everybody's, I mean, some people do, but fuck them. Nobody really cares. But it's like, okay, that's good. Why the fuck are we sending all this money everywhere else and not putting security in our schools?
Because the only money they want to send to schools is to administrators. Over the last 15 to 20 years, since the Department of Education was formed, in 1999, something like that.
No idea.
The funding for schools have gone up exponentially, including if you adjust for inflation. Yet test scores and everything have gone down because all that funding is going towards administrative costs.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're hiring more counselors, but the counselors aren't actually doing anything.
Or they're getting raises.
Or they're getting raises to just principals and stuff. And then you have issues with the teachers' unions and how you could have a really good teacher in the early stages who's really young, who could be fantastic, but they're not going to the public schools because the public schools don't pay.
True. Well, this is where I sit kind of in the middle on things, is because most people say it's about one thing and one thing only. They say the way to, especially the people in power, they say the way to stop these things is gun control. And I'm like, or we put security in the schools like there is everywhere else that you go in life. I don't know who it was, but there was a shooter from the past few years or whatever. I don't know which one he did.
No, actually, never mind. Go on.
He mentioned whenever he was interviewed, like in jail or wherever, like when they got him, or I have no idea what it was, but a shooter was on record of saying that he went to one school, the one he planned to go to. There was security there, so he went to a different school that didn't have security. And that's the one that got.
When you throw up those magic stickers that just ban guns and gun-free zones and everything, it just makes it an easier target.
So listen to this. My counter argument to the whole no guns area. If I have a CCW, I don't.
It should not pertain to you.
No, not only that. If I go into a gun-free zone, I'm taking my gun. It's going to be in my back pocket because of shit like this. If I have to use it, it's going to be a lawsuit no matter what. You're a murderer at that point, no matter what. In the CCW class, everybody that I know that has taken it, the first thing they say is, if you take your gun out and you kill somebody, at that time, you are a murderer until proven innocent. Because they don't know what happened. They have to go through all the motions. You're going to go to trial just like Kyle Rittenhouse. That's not, It doesn't matter if it was self-defense and it's a clean and cut, dry case. As soon as the cops get there, you have your hands up. You shot somebody. Mm-hmm. You're a murderer. That's just how it works.
You are suspect.
A suspect.
Murderer is a
that guy's a suspect.
Murder is a final term.
Yeah, but I'm saying at that time you are a suspect in a murder investigation. But if I'm in Walmart, for instance, that's a gun-free zone, and I'm getting whatever, and I hear somebody get a gun out and they're aiming it at me or at anybody else and or about to shoot somebody. If you aim a gun at somebody, you're trying to kill them. I don't care what you say. Mm-hmm. And I take my gun out and I shoot you, you're dead. I just saved a day. I saved my life. I saved that person's life. I saved everybody's life, right?
But you're still going to get arrested.
But I'm still going to get arrested.
However,
that gun will get confiscated. You will go to court.
But however, in that kind of case, you're in a public place where something happened. There are cameras, and you'll be proven innocent.
But you had a gun.
But you had a CCW.
Doesn't matter. You have a gun in a gun-free zone, it's illegal, no matter what.
No. You will get a civil lawsuit from the company.
That's what I'm saying.
You're not going to get a criminal lawsuit.
But it's still there's repercussions.
I know.
It's dumb. It should not ever be a fucking thing.
So
that counteracts everything, because then what's the point of having a CCW if you can't? The whole point of having it is
you cannot carry your CCW into a government building, into a school building, anything like that. If it's
but you said Walmart.
I'm giving Walmart as an example.
Oh.
I'm saying if I went into a school or something like that, I don't know. That's conflicting, because then you get into some serious trouble. But at the same time, it saves some lives. That's what
But
I'm so
but
conflicted.
a school, I can understand not letting anybody walk in with a CCW unless
How would
it's
they
like
know?
That's the
Huh?
thing. This is my other argument. If I go in, you have no, like, I could be carrying right now and you would never know.
That's why I'm saying put security at these fucking schools.
Arm the teachers.
No, I don't think arming the teachers is the way to go because I'm one of those where I don't think that more guns fixes the guns. So like I'm in the middle of gun control.
So-
All right. See,
Hmm.
the problem is here we're focusing too much on the guns and not the culture. See, the issue is a gun is just a tool, regardless of how it's used. It is a tool. It does not hurt anybody if it is not used. It does not go out and
There's one here right now. We're in the presence of
It,
one.
it
It
doesn't
might
get
come up and shoot me. I don't know.
It doesn't just get
Well,
up
there
and
have been
shoot people.
guns around forever, and it's never been like it is now.
Anyways, the culture of the last 30 years has radically shifted from the mass media psychosis of it being anytime something like this happens that fits a certain puzzle piece for the narrative pertaining to especially white people in schooling. Anytime there's a mass shooting pretty much involving a white person, it is blasted on the media. And then these people, you
Get fame.
continuously see people being like, they say they show their faces, and they say their names, and then you have politicians like Joe Biden or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or freaking Nancy Pelosi going up and saying asshole A and asshole B are terrible people, and this is why all white supremacists are evil, that kind of stuff. And then you get another person who actually is a white supremacist or someone who's just really fucking hates his life and is like, somebody will remember my name. These big politicians will know my name.
My name will be said on TV.
Mm-hmm.
That should never. They did it once. They didn't say the guy's name, and I was like, "Fucking hats off to you." And they did it once, and I think it was Fox that did
There
it.
was one in El Paso.
That's
There was a Walmart shooter in El Paso.
That's what it was. They did not say his name.
Hold on.
Or face.
There was a shooting in, I don't know, maybe in Kentucky, and then there was another shooting in El Paso on the same day. CNN covered both, said the name, showed the face of the one in Kentucky because he was white, and the one in El Paso was a Hispanic man, and they said, I don't want to give this guy notoriety. Chris Cuomo did both.
Yeah, well, you're talking about CNN, so useless.
Talking about the news, so it's useless.
But the thing is like I said, if it fits a specific narrative that they're trying to push, they will blast that person's face up to make them the poster child of bad. But if it doesn't fit, if it affects a minority or anything, they'll be like, oh, we don't want to give this person notoriety for doing this terrible act. They're horrible people.
But there have always been guns.
Right.
There's been guns
Nothing has
always.
changed.
There
And then-
hasn't, but
but
now all of a sudden
if
we've got a generation of people that have never heard the word no.
So
I mean, notice a lot of these shooters are quite young.
I want you to listen to something. The gentleman, I'm not going to say his name, from the Texas shooting.
The Uvalde. Is it?
Nope,
How do
we're
you-
not saying his name.
No, that's
no.
the town.
That's
That's
the
the
town.
Oh,
town.
okay. I can't pronounce it.
Uvalde.
Robb Elementary School shooter.
Uvalde.
He walked in with like thousands of rounds. Do you know how heavy brass is?
It's pretty heavy.
And also like $4,000 worth of guns. A brand new F-250. He's 18 years old.
He's
Mhm.
supposedly an impoverished teenager too.
So where the fuck did he get all this shit? Do you know how much it costs right now for 1,000 rounds of say
Hold on.
223?
You're getting into the fuckery aspect that I was talking to earlier. So let's start with the timeline here. Apparently, he shoots his grandmother.
Oh yeah.
Okay, kills his grandmother, then gets in a shootout with the cops. Gets into the F2 brand new F-250. Drives for like 15.
Was it his?
I don't know.
They don't-
Chased.
Okay, I've heard.
Hold on.
I heard the grandmother, but I've heard nothing about a shootout with the cops.
Chased by the cops, right, in this F-250 for about like 15 minutes. Then he stops at the school, gets out, has like a standoff, shoots at the cops a couple times, and they back off. He finds an open door or an unlocked door to the school goes in, and then other police officers start making a perimeter. And then here it says law enforcement allegedly thought there were no kids at risk. It's a school, and an asshole just ran in with a gun after having a shootout with the cops. Anyways, then they start putting up barriers. And then a select few cops actually do go in. They breach the school, and they get their own kids out.
Oh, here we go. Here's dates and stuff. In September of 2021, the shooter asked his sister to help him buy a gun that she flatly refused. The shooter was in a group chat on Instagram, and in it there was a February 28th discussion about the suspect being a school shooter. On March 1st, the shooter had an Instagram chat with several others in a discussion when he discussed buying a gun. 2 days later, there was another group chat where someone said word on the street was that the suspect was buying a gun. Shooter replied, "Just bought something right now." On March 14th, the shooter wrote on an Instagram, 10 more days. Another user replied, "Are you going to shoot up a school or something?" The shooter replied, "No, stop asking dumb questions and you'll see." On May 17th and May 20th, the shooter legally purchased 2 AR platform rifles. Okay, hold on. That's
Not even just probably AR platform rifles. These were like the freaking. These are expensive ones.
I was about to say they're like probably $1,500 guns a piece.
They're $2,000 a piece.
$2,000 a piece. So he's got $4,000 in ARs.
Yeah, but that's really not that much whenever you have credit and all that kind of stuff.
The shooter also
you've got
purchased
credit if you come from a family where you've got credit.
He's
18.
He's 18, and they say he's an impoverished person. I'm talking like his family is no money.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that if you're doing something like this, you can get the money.
The shooter also purchased 375 rounds of ammunition on May 18th. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Before the school shooting and committing a massacre, the shooter sent a series of chilling text messages to the girl he met online. The teen girl who lives in Germany says she began chatting with the shooter on social media app earlier this month. The shooter told her that on Monday he received a package of ammunition. On Tuesday morning, Blank called her and told her he loved her. She said he complained about his grandmother being on the phone with AT&T about my phone. It's annoying. 6 minutes later at 11:21, he texted, "I just shot my grandma in her head." Jesus. Seconds later, he said, "I'm going to go shoot up a elementary school right now." Suspect began firing outside of school. Video shows an exterior door of Robb Elementary as the suspect entered from... which is suspected to be where the shooter entered from, was propped open by a teacher. What the fuck? Why would a teacher... This is very stupid. The shooter's vehicle crashes into a ditch near the school. A teacher runs into the room to get a phone and returns to the exit door, which remains propped open. Fuck. So he got in through that, basically. 2 witnesses, meanwhile, who were at the funeral home across the street, hear the crash and see what happened. And go to see what happened. The suspect begins to fire at them. So nowhere in here does it say anything about a chase or anything.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
haven't heard anything about that cop chase.
And why would he crash his car?
That's what I heard. I heard all about he crashed his car into it.
Probably to get them to come outside.
I
no,
heard
he crashed his car like a block away.
No, this is very close because they came out to look.
I heard he crashed it through the school gate.
The suspect reaches the last row of vehicles at the school parking lot and begins shooting at the school. There was no school resource officers that confronted the suspect outside the school, as the officials had previously described. McGraw said,
Crashed his car. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Crashed his car 2 blocks from the school.
Okay, well then this doesn't say exactly where, but...
Can I just point out, though, that now we're into yet another fuckery thing, not involving this, but just about how we have 2 different sources up with 2 very different stories?
Yeah.
Which is just another thing is to... This is why nobody actually knows.
I don't want to talk about it. I
Is it
clicked the
CNN?
wrong one. Yeah,
You're on CNN, aren't you?
But this is still saying the timeline.
But what I'm saying is that this is another one of those instances where everything tells a different story.
Unless you were there, you're not going to know.
Yeah, there's no way to truly know what happened in today's age, which
So-
is sad because we should know exactly what happened with all the technology that we have.
The suspect begins firing at them. Both begin running away. A teacher reemerges in a panic and apparently called 911. In a separate statement, the U.S. Marshal Services said it received a call for assistance at 11:30 from the Uvalde Police Department. The suspect reaches the last row of vehicles in the school parking lot and begins shooting at the school. The vehicle begins to arrive. Patrol vehicles begin to arrive at the funeral home, which was across the street. There was no school resource officer that confronted the suspect outside the school, as officials have previously described. Let's see here. He drove to an area. Okay, so a cop drove to an area and sped to the back of the school to a person he thought was a suspect, but he was just a teacher. In doing so, the school resource officer drove right by the suspect, who was hunkered down behind a vehicle where he began shooting at the school. Multiple shots were fired by the suspect. Then first officers entered the school more than 1 hour before the shooter was killed. The shooter enters the school and begins shooting into a classroom, which is connected to a second classroom. He shot at least 100 rounds. That's a lot of reloading and shit. 3 police department officers entered through the same door as the suspect. Another 3. This makes no sense.
Why would he need 2 guns?
Who?
The guy.
30.
Was he dual wielding?
It doesn't say. You don't know. I don't
Like-
know. I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying. You're never going to know actually what
I hate to
happened
say
unless
this,
you're there.
but if one jams, ARs jam,
I know.
you need another one.
Again, I still go back to the fucking security thing in schools. If I have to get my bag searched and go through a metal detector to go
don't
watch a
give a fuck.
baseball game, why do these things... I'm just in a point
Some
now where
schools have metal detectors.
some of them. It should be a nation...
Dayton
because
has
you
them.
get these people that get on... You get our president and our people in charge. And it doesn't matter what side you're on, Republican, Democrat, middle, all that stuff. They all say the same shit. We will do anything to keep this from happening again. And they don't do
anything.
shit. Stop sending money elsewhere and put that money towards the safety of your own children.
All right,
They
you
got to
keep-
cover
hold-
their debts.
You keep saying metal detectors, and
As a start.
Oh, I know. But the thing is 90 to 95% of all these shootings start with somebody just walking in, guns a-blazing.
Yeah, but if you- but if
from
you-
gun-
It's
Yeah.
not gonna
from the
stop.
get-go.
Yes,
Like-
but if you have security on the building, metal detectors are when you get inside. One thing that the district
Right.
that I
no,
work
no,
at...
But what I'm saying is metal detectors aren't going to do shit. The worst thing worst thing it's going to catch is maybe a kid brings his pocket knife to school.
But if you can't get in the building...
It
No,
doesn't
I'll-
matter. Listen, you're a school resource officer. There's a metal detector right next to you. That is the entrance. I walk in, I shoot you. What's going to happen? It's going to go...
Or
and you
it
can walk
could
right
be
through it.
you have them just watching the door, and then when they see somebody walking in holding a gun, because like I said, 90 to 95% of all these shootings happen with somebody breaking their way in with
Yeah.
the gun.
But
They're not just walking through like under a trench coat.
I don't have nothing in my pocket.
Yeah, but if they're breaking through, then you clearly have all... Like, you can
Or if
see
they
everything that
just
they're
walk
carrying.
right, which is why the metal detector doesn't matter.
But a
it
lot
doesn't
of them...
stop the gun.
But a lot of them are not breaking in. A lot of them are walking
right,
in
but
with
they
all the
walk
stuff.
in with all the stuff.
If you have doors that you cannot just open and they have to break them down,
That's not a metal detector. I agree with
it
not
at
a metal
least gives you,
detector.
I said the metal detector is a start. It's part of the security to put into the school. One thing that
Chief
our
guided on
district
that.
has, one thing that our school district has that a lot of schools still don't have is every single building, you have to get buzzed into that building.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot just walk in and open a door.
Which would do a lot more than having metal detectors.
It's all part of
Right,
the
no, no,
security.
I get it. But you were emphasizing so much on metal detectors,
Mm-hmm.
and we were saying that almost all of these instances, the metal detector doesn't do anything because they already have the gun out in the open.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
That's
it
what I
already
was
shows
getting
their
at.
cards.
Well,
they're just going to shoot whoever's standing there.
I want the full security thing. I want the locked doors. I want the security guard. All that. If we protect our baseball games and all that stuff like this, why the fuck are we not protecting our children? No, we're sending all our money everywhere else because nobody actually in power gives a shit about our own people. No matter what they say, it's the money goes everywhere. What could you said 56 billion?
I believe it's 56 billion over the last 6 months because we sent
To Ukraine.
13 and I think we sent like 13 billion and then we sent like another 3 and then they just sent 40.
Let's say since we don't have the actual number, let's estimate 50 billion to another country. What could that have done for our school security in this country?
The reason we send it over there is because our politicians owe Ukraine.
And they get kickbacks.
Why do you think a $400,000 a year salary for a president turns into a almost $1 billion, by the end of it?
But so
how the fuck
the thing that I am tired
does
of,
that
just
work?
like it keeps going round and round, is that the politicians say the same thing over and over, and then they get everybody pissed off on social media, and everybody starts arguing over gun control instead of security. It really baffles me how we do not have security in these schools.
Before we continue on with that, I believe that we should be able to. A thought is you hire a bunch of veterans who are like down on their luck or whatever. They want to get back. They want to feel like they're protecting somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You give them the ability to become resource officers for the schools.
They fuck a motherfucker up.
Yeah. You put 2 or 3 veterans
they
per
can
school,
spot a threat from a mile away.
they can see that stuff, especially ones who have been to Afghanistan, Iraq. They know what they're looking for as far as people concealing
That's actually
things.
a really good idea.
I wouldn't say it would have to be only veterans, but I think that would be a good.
That would be a primary
option.
hiring spot.
Yes,
because
I think that could be a good.
And then you also have the idea that not only do we spread this stuff on media and we talk about it, we're talking about it now, even with us being a small show. You also have the very, very overdiagnosis of everything for kids these days. If a kid can't sit still in a terrible room for 8 hours a day, they give them Adderall.
Yeah.
Like,
it's considered ADHD and all that instead of actually being a kid.
Instead of we treat every single kid as a cookie cutter. Yep. And we try to treat them all the exact same way,
while still telling them that they're special in their own way.
And we tell them that,
and we give
with
them
a
hormones.
kid being a kid, and they're just like, oh, that one kid is being, oh, he's got this because he can't stay still. That is not how it works. When I was a kid, I was a fucking asshole. I know that.
We are giving kids Adderall. We are giving kids. You know what Adderall is? It's an amphetamine.
Yeah.
As in methamphetamine, just without the meth part. So methamphetamine is a huge
Isn't it
upper.
Because if you're hyper, it calms you, but if you're calm, it kind of helps you like speed up or something like that.
I think Adderall is what makes
thinking
people like real darty and like,
But also, I thought it was
Pay
if you're
attention
if,
more?
helps
if
you
you're
organize.
hyper, it makes you focus.
Laser focus.
Yeah.
But we are giving kids psychoactive drugs that are going to fuck up their mental state even more than it was before.
Yep.
Plus the amount of the ability to constantly be on your phone, have that constant demand for dopamine hits from likes and shares and comments. And then we have the vast and then we have we're giving all sorts of kids hormones and trying to change the chemistry of their bodies before they even have a chance to develop. And
I don't know if it was before we started the show, but I know we mentioned it. Correct me if we already said it on the show. It's not the amount of guns that's changed.
No.
It's the society.
It's the culture. The culture has shifted so much in the last 30 years.
There have always been guns.
Yep.
Look at the Old West. Everybody had a gun on
My
their head.
grandpa had a gun on his wall loaded because he lived in Dayton. There was a shootout across the street. I remember when I was a kid, but this is in like Bolton Street in Dayton where it was like just sketchy. And there was a bullet hole in his bathroom. And I was like, "Hey, Grandpa, what's this?" He's like, "Yeah, that's why I got that gun up there." And it was like an old school, pistol, but it fucked somebody up. It was like,
well, I mean, it's just
crazy.
It's this. Everybody says that guns are the problem, and it's like, and again, I sit in the middle on it. When it comes to gun control and all that, I believe there should be restrictions.
What kind of restrictions do you think? We can do it. We'll do it quickly, but
Okay.
what do you
Well,
think could
we'll
help?
wrap this up. I don't think that, this is just my personal opinion, I think that you should be able to have guns. I don't think that the average person needs ARs.
Why?
Oh my gosh.
Hold
We'll
on.
pick that back up after a quick word from our sponsor.
This is where we're going to sponsors.
Yep.
And now a word from our sponsor. This episode of Truffle Shuffle Podcast is brought to you by Truffle Shuffle Podcast. Oh, that's right. Your hearing is working just fine. Not only can you now hear our silky smooth voices, but you can also wear us. And everything in between. Head on over to TruffleShufflePodcastMerch.com. Yes, I know it's long, but it's worth it. TruffleShufflePodcastMerch.com. Be sure to check back frequently because we will be updating items, eventually, with our faces. The perfect gift for anyone, including scaring your grandma. TruffleShufflePodcastMerch.com.
Is that because you're from California? You don't think we should have ARs?
So a lot just happened in 30 seconds of ads.
How
A lot.
dare
Just-
you?
Hold on. Number one, how dare you? But no, for real. Why do you think we should not have an AR?
Well, because the person
Big
that
scary
had-
gun. It's black. I'm scared.
No, because if you look at the statistics, the average person that has guns in their home for like either hunting or for protection and all that stuff, it's not ARs. The ARs are purchased by people who a lot of times go and shoot things.
Hey, Alaric.
Hold up.
Hold, please.
Let me pull this up.
Hold, please. I own an AR.
Mm-hmm.
Have I shot up a school?
No, I said majority. I said, look at the statistics.
No.
Mm-mm.
Listen, the AR, the only reason I bought an AR was because at the time, ammo was cheap.
Mhm.
It's fun to shoot. I shoot for sport. I don't shoot to hunt. I don't shoot to kill people. I go out to a range and I'll shoot at paper all day long, or I'll shoot at, exploding targets at my friend's house. That's so much fun, right? With an AR.
Mhm.
30 rounds. You have to reload less. It's like, it's just fun. There's zero recoil with the AR.
I'm not saying that you're
Hold
not
on.
allowed to have
But
it. I'm
listen,
saying this
listen.
is my opinion.
This is where I'm going to flip it.
Did you say, look at the statistics,
What?
that most people shoot people up with rifles?
I can't read any of that.
Yeah, nobody
All
could
right.
read
That
any
off
of
to
this.
us.
I will read it to you then. This is the crime statistics in the United States for homicide
Ooh, 2017. That's a big number.
between 2013 and 2017. The total homicides, okay, in 2017 is 15,000. Total with firearms, almost 11,000. Rifles, 403.
I can't read
7,032
anything
with
on this. I don't know what
handguns.
he's reading.
Shotguns.
Over 90,
Further away you are, the more
yeah,
feels you hear.
over 90% of all gun-related crimes are done with handguns.
Yes, but how many of those are mass shootings?
Handguns. I'm not even kidding. The
Every
ones
mass shooting that you hear of is rifles.
Hold on.
because it fits a narrative.
You don't hear about these other ones. Let me say
Hold on.
this.
Do you know what classifies a mass shooting?
It depends on how many people die.
It's at least
4.
3 people injured.
It's 4. I just read it.
Fine. 4
Correct.
people dead.
Yeah.
Do you know how many mass shootings happen in Chicago?
Is it injured or dead? Y'all just changed it twice.
It's dead.
We'll go off of his. 4 dead. Okay. You know how many mass shootings occur every single weekend in Chicago?
Oh yeah, Chicago has lots of
All the
guns.
gang violence in New York, Chicago, Detroit, that is all considered a mass shooting. Okay? As long as there is at least 4 victims, it's considered a mass shooting. Okay? So
I'm
all
talking
these-
about the shootings
the
though where
ones
a
you
lot
hear-
of people go down. It's
4
rifles.
or more is
But
Columbine,
if it's considered, then that's a very low number for a mass shooting.
Columbine, where it was 30 people or something.
It was an MP5
It was a
and something
handgun.
else.
No, Columbine was a handgun.
Not an MP5. It was a what is it called? It's what gangs use a lot. A Mac.
Hand
It
sign.
was a Mac 10.
Okay. Anyways,
I think before I stand on that hill. But let me tell you something, Dylan.
Y'all just switched real quick from preaching that everybody can have their own opinions to jumping on me.
I'm not
different than
jumping
you
on
two.
you. I'm not jumping on you.
Y'all
That
switched
is-
fucking
hold on.
quick as soon
Hold
as
on,
I
wait,
said something that you two didn't agree
There's a
with.
difference between opinion and you said you don't believe people should have ARs.
You
because-
asked me
hold on.
why,
No.
and I said because
know.
I believe that a lot
No,
of the
because
shootings
you
are done
said
with
the
ARs.
Statistics say that a lot of the shootings are done with ARs, when that is in fact not a true statement. Okay, Clay.
I
Just
own
got
a
his
gun
hand up.
that's wooden. Not very scary because it's wooden, right? Holds 8 rounds. It won World War II. I have an M1 Garand.
Yes, the guns have evolved over the years.
But listen, I can shoot the M1 Garand, and the hole is fucking huge. It'll put a
Mhm.
1-inch hole in your chest. Like that, right? And I can take somebody down like that. With an AR, gets a little teeny tiny hole. But why are you more scared of an AR than you are of a Garand?
How fast can the Grand shoot?
As fast
Just
as
as
you can pull the
fast
trigger.
as yeah. They have fully automatic versions of the Garand from World
But you
War
just
II.
said it holds 8.
I can reload as fast as I can do
But how many can an AR hold?
30 or 10.
Just depends on the size of your clip.
Yeah, so
But guns have evolved over
Yours
the
is a
years.
clip. For the Grand, is a
Yes.
clip.
But the guns have
Magazine.
evolved over the years to where you can hold more and more and more.
okay. Counteracting that, I have, say I got a Glock. Holds 10 rounds, or it could be a double stack and hold 14 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's different about that? I can get an extended mag for that, and then that has 30 rounds in it, and I can.
Well, then we get into a topic of allowing how much, what do you call it? Not allowing, but controlling, what kind of mags and stuff can go into guns.
California does that.
oh my
And I was at a range where they have a California spec. California spec is 10 round magazine, not allowed to be removable unless it's got a tool, right?
Mm-hmm.
This motherfucker was shooting faster than I was with my 30 round mag because I have to take my magazine off and I have to put my rounds in, right? He had what we call stripper clips. They go onto the back of the bullets, onto the back of the casing, and you can put it in the side and go, rack. And he goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And he could get 100 rounds off way faster than I could ever get 100 rounds off. And he is well within the legal right of California.
But see, then that's where, as
People
the years...
will always find things around it. But
Exactly.
listen,
As we go forward, they're making it
it's
so
not
that...
the ARs, it's not the Max, it's not the fucking AK-47s that the Gulag people use. It is the people. And you're getting a call right now.
Oh.
But my argument is that
Can they hear that?
No.
Oh, they probably can. I
It's
believe
ringing in our ears.
that we should have whatever guns we want. You should be allowed to have whatever the government has. We should be allowed to have that, because if not, then God forbid the government does what they're trying to do, and oh hey, we're gonna take everything.
Well, then that goes into a whole nother
I realize that,
conversation.
but what
yeah.
I'm saying is, it's not the gun. The AR sits in my house.
Mhm.
Not once has it shot a person.
No, of course not.
I built
Everyone
the-
who has one of those guns is a shooter.
But why does that gun make it? Why do you feel that gun itself is a scary gun that will shoot people? If, say, Alaric has one, I have one.
I'm saying that if you like that gun, more than likely, unless you have the upgrades and the attachments for the other guns, that one can, on average, hold more. And that's where people take it whenever they want a higher body count. As to where now, all the pistols and that kind of stuff, you can get those upgrades because things have been evolving over the years. And probably to get around that stereotype. Would you say that that's why things are evolving over on here? Like to get, so that you can actually shoot more on these smaller ones and get away from the bigger ones?
Dylan, there have been 30 school shootings this year alone.
Well, hold on.
Wait.
We're just talking about the gun.
Hold on. I know. Talking about the gun.
This is also no longer a discussion. This is
Yeah.
you two trying to change.
It's
No,
okay.
no.
This switched fucking fast.
Okay, you know what? I'm for it.
I'm
I'm with
trying-
you, Dylan. I'm gonna come
I'm-
around that side
I'm
of the
trying
table.
to give
I'm on
new
your side.
information. I'm trying to give you new information.
I'm trying to give you new information.
Yeah, but you're
too.
doing it in a way as to where my opinion's wrong.
because it is.
But see, that's actually quite annoying.
I get that. I get that. You know what?
It's because we've been preaching all this stuff for all these other shows, but as soon as I say something different than you two, which you asked me for my opinion,
we've said different things. This is just this is.
but now you guys actually got pissed. You
Not
lost
pissed.
your
I'm not pissed.
you lost your shit on
I'm not
that
mad at you.
30-second break.
I'm not mad at you. I was messing with you. What I'm trying to do
There was
is
just
give
a
you
huge
other
tonal
facts
shift.
Hold on.
because
okay.
yours is in my opinion, your side is very one-sided, not knowing there is other stuff out there. The AK-47, right? There is 100-round mags for that. Why didn't you say anything about the AK-47?
Because
Hold on. I think he.
There's pistols
I think he was
versions?
referring to AR styles. So like the long gun rifle, large mag.
But AR is just one type
know,
of a gun.
I know.
There's a SCAR.
Right.
There's everything.
hmm
But
I'm talking-
I
I'm
just
talking
wanna,
about-
I want to know why
I'm talking
the
about
AR
rifles.
Before you go on,
The AK-47 is a rifle. The SCAR
Yeah.
is a rifle.
I didn't sum it down into one gun though.
You
Dylan,
said AR.
do you
That
know
was
what
the only
AR
reason I was like, I mean, I've got an AR.
Okay, so
hold on. Genuine question. What does AR stand for?
that's what I was just about to say. I was like, AR is actually a gun, but it has become the term for like a lot of guns.
By
correct?
news
hold on.
people, not
Yes.
Do
not
you
by
know what
normal
AR
people.
stands for?
Armalite.
They
rifle.
change it. They change
Thank
it all
you.
the fucking
No,
time. I
it's
don't know.
Never
They
changed.
don't change it. It's
The news
no, no, no.
does.
Oh,
That's the
they call
problem.
it. They think it stands for assault rifle.
Mm-hmm.
It stands for Armalite rifle.
That's
Which
what I'm
is-
saying. They change it.
That's the guy
Armalite
that
is
whatever
the,
they're
the
talking
company
about.
who made the style of gun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Poor acronym choice.
It was
apparently.
really poor.
God damn it.
But
I'm sorry if it felt like we were actually upset.
yeah, we were just.
It was
I was
just. It was,
arguing
a,
my
it
point.
was a huge tonal switch. As soon as I said it, you both turned instantly. It was no longer a discussion.
because I
y'all were
own
just
one,
y'all were just boom.
and you just summed up every person that has an AR, which is an Armalite rifle, not an assault rifle.
Mm-hmm.
AR, that they're a mass shooter. The way you said it, that's how I took it, and I believe that's how he took it.
I didn't
Well, yeah,
think
but
of
then
And
it.
I'm
if
like,
you would
you
have
know what?
asked, if you would
I
have
have-
asked me, what about the people who have a gun? Because then I also said, whenever you brought it up, I said not everyone who has a bigger gun is a shooter. But you guys were talking over me during that point,
I'm sorry.
so nobody heard that.
We got excited.
That's what I'm saying.
It's because
So,
this felt like it finally felt like we had like a raw thing that we didn't know about each other.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't know that about you.
And so,
But
if-
I've said this
But I mean,
before.
if
You're gonna
we-
come out shooting with me.
if we were at the campfire right now, we would be having we would just be like, I'm sorry if it felt hostile. We were just excited because there was a whole nother.
What's he snapping at? What?
Nah, I don't have it.
You don't have it?
Well, I have it, but
What were you snapping?
I'm
at?
sorry. Why am I being attacked right now?
Oh, the fucking
That's what it is.
sound bite.
But I apologize
But
if
no,
it came
so-
off like that.
So to sum up where I stand on the gun thing is that I don't think that you need those bigger guns or the ones that would be considered dangerous. You know what I mean? Okay, that's not a good way
All
to phrase
guns
it.
are dangerous.
Yes, no, I know.
All guns are also
back
harmless,
to
so
the thing we were talking about. It's not the gun.
it's
It's the
people.
person. If you
It's always
ban,
been the person.
but
We've
listen,
already said that though.
But listen, we banned ARs. We banned every rifle out there. No more mass shootings, right? No, they're gonna pick up a pistol and they're gonna be like, "Oh, I can just hide this in my butthole, walk into school, and
In
then
your
shoot everybody
butthole?
up." Yeah. No, I can walk into a school and there's metal detectors.
Have you
All right,
se-
well,
have
then
you seen
I'll
a
just-
micro pistol? Those things are quite small.
Well, no, that goes back to the thing of gun rules will not stop criminals from getting guns.
Criminals will
just-
always
well-
be criminals. They will figure it out.
Hold on, wait,
Mhm.
wait. Say that again, but slowly,
I
please.
said gun rules will not stop criminals from getting guns, and I know what you're going to say
But you
because
were
I'm
saying
talking
you
about the gun
wanted
rules. But then it goes back to my security thing, because I'm not, even though that is my opinion on gun control, where I'm in the middle, where I say don't take all guns, but don't allow anyone to have any gun, because there are a lot of people on one side that say absolutely no guns, and then there are a lot of people on one side that say any gun that you want, and I'm in the middle on that. But that goes back to the security thing.
There's a bigger problem of you give an inch, they take a mile.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you
Exactly.
when you know
That's
what?
all right. Take your time.
No,
Take your time.
I'm good. It's just
Some
it's
steam
pretty
coming out of his ears.
self-explanatory. You start taking one thing here, one thing there, one thing there.
I hate to say it.
It
if
can
And then
we-
also the
It's
few
slippery
ruin it
slope.
for the
will
many as well.
continue- Right.
correct.
Why would you let criminals ruin the rights of law-abiding citizens who outnumber them 1 billion to 1?
And what's the phrase
1
that
million
they
to 1.
say? What's the phrase that they say? Like, oh damn it! I just had
The only
it.
thing that stops
No,
a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun,
No, not that one. About like
except for when they refuse to go into the school and do anything.
no, it was something about like instead of changing the rules to try and prevent the crime,
You have to change the culture or something. You have to change the
something
people.
involving
Yeah.
that. Like it was like instead of changing things that have already been changed, it's like why not? I don't know, they say like create new rules and all that, but it's like that never works. So why
Criminals
not?
will always find a way around it.
I
I hate to say it. If we ban,
I really don't know how they phrased it. Now it's
If-
making me mad.
If we banned all guns for that argument, we ban all guns. Okay, I'm just gonna go to my 3D printer and print a gun.
There's always a way around
You
it.
can-
There's
up.
always going to be criminals. Like say when somebody runs somebody over with a semi, they run into a crowd of people with a semi.
We don't
Can't
ban
ban
semis. for
semis.
other
You can't
people.
ban.
Mhm.
They're like, oh, that's a big truck. That needs to be restricted way more. Do you know how hard it is to get a CDL and drive? Like you have to have a perfect record. But the same thing goes for guns. You have to have like a perfect record.
Mm-hmm.
There is times where, oh yeah, you have a trespassing on this or you have a restraining order. Yeah, you can't get a gun.
Now I'm not against.
Don't quote me on that. But like,
I'm not against having rules for people who buy guns. I'm
Yeah.
not against that.
Yeah.
Like having to pass background checks and all that stuff. However, if somebody wants a gun for a terrible reason
Mhm.
and they don't pass the background check,
there's loopholes.
they will still find a way to get the gun.
Straw sales. They'll go to a gun show. They could
Anybody
possibly
who
do
can
anything.
pass that background check can get the gun for them and they can pay for it in cash.
It's just how it works.
So no matter what, you cannot stop anything entirely.
You
I think
cannot
that
stop criminals from being criminals.
maybe that's what, without knowing it, what we're actually talking about is that everybody always talks of everything in the entirety.
So the idea is, human
Like
beings.
they say, banned all guns and nothing will ever happen again. And then there are people who are like, that's not how it works at all.
See, I think there's another thing on why Clay and I got so passionate about it is the idea that we've been friends for 2 decades, and I don't
Mhm.
think we didn't.
We never had
knew-
this
we
discussion,
never had the
ever.
discussion about the rifle aspect. I've had it with Steven.
We've had conversations about guns, but not specific ones.
I had
before, don't think.
conversations with you in the room with Steven, but then you were like, I don't like talking about politics. So you just kind of you just kind of sat there with a blank stare and like, while Steven and I were going back and forth.
Yeah, it got bad for
And
a
then-
while. But I was like, I'm done talking. I was like, I'm so sick of talking about this
And
every day,
then-
all day.
But human beings have a tendency to, when you think of how something works, when you envision other people, you have to think that, put that away. When you envision other people, you think, oh, other people think like me. But that's not how it ends up working. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of things that my wife should probably think, and then she doesn't. And I'm like, oh, she doesn't think that way. And I have to snap myself out of it on things like that.
That
So it's
everybody's
like,
gonna have a
everybody
different
will
opinion.
think something totally different. Even if they have the same opinion, they may not get to that conclusion the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm sorry.
There's no need for an apology or anything. I just said what happened on my side, where I
Right.
was like, whoa, whoa.
Because while Clay and I felt like we were getting excited, you looked like you were getting kind of angry. So.
Yeah, y'all. I was like, y'all jumped on me.
You
fucking
were turning a
hard.
different type of
Huh?
vermilion. Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
Clay.
this will be one of the longer format podcasts we've ever
Oh.
done.
Oh yeah, no, we
'Cause
really
this-
got on it. If you stuck around this long, congratulations.
I mean,
Congratulations. Do yourself a favor and do a desk pop. So we're gonna go ahead and switch gears. I'm that was an interesting conversation.
Burned
We're
out
gonna
of
Well,
the
here,
serious stuff.
how do we wrap this up? Because it's like
wrap
that
it
was-
up. No, we're
that was-
keeping
no, no, no.
going.
No. But I mean, that was something that we've never gotten on before. Because
So
look at the way that the world is around us. This is the
I
this is the
believe
shit that we talk about.
in
me
the
personally.
end, I believe Dylan's wrong. And no, I'm just kidding. No,
You're not
You're not kidding.
You're not kidding.
I'm not kidding.
I mean, it's okay.
But it's okay. That's how you feel about me. That's how I
Mhm.
feel about you.
So you were talking,
But also, like you just said, we have the same outcome.
we
all
have
three of
different-
us.
We have the same ideal of how it all ends.
We're the idiots on the internet arguing, going, "No, I'm right. No, I'm right," and then
But
we're like,
all still
you both
agreeing
do the same-
about the main thing.
But this,
"But I agreed harder."
but you were saying, you said that we sit here all day and then we talk about how we can have different opinions, and then it wasn't so much that we weren't allowing you to have a different opinion. It was more of a, damn, I literally had this thought out and then you broke me off. You stopped me.
See?
and
Write
then,
it down. Write it down.
We can agree to disagree,
It's
but
Yes,
then agree
yes.
in the end. So I don't know.
it's the idea that Clay and I still think that shall not be infringed. Well, I don't know. You believe shall not be
Nothing
infringed.
upon snake. So
But-
in the end, we're gonna wrap it up here because we're gonna bring.
Didn't you just say no? We're not wrapping it up. We're
Right.
gonna keep it going.
No, you made it sound like we're wrapping up the podcast. It's like, no, we're gonna go for another half an hour.
Not the
guys.
show. Not the show.
So
We've only we're 55 minutes in and we've talked about one fucking thing.
So on a happier
things.
note, I have
Metallica,
some.
baby.
Oh yes, Metallica, baby. I forgot about that.
I have some fun things.
a lot
to
of
talk
shit
about.
happened since then.
So I have a crappy story that will make you laugh. A woman rescued after falling into a toilet while trying to retrieve her phone at the top of Mount Walker in Washington State.
Is this like in South Park when she falls in when he doesn't put the seat down and it sucks out her
No,
inside?
she dropped her phone. She was like,
reaching in for the
and
"Oh,
she fell
shit."
into the toilet.
no. She was like trying to get her phone out of the toilet, and then it was like, it's like an outhouse. It looks like. A
Oh,
woman,
if my phone falls in an outhouse, it's gone.
it's gone. It's dead.
It's
I don't
Go
care if
get a
it's
new
still
one.
working. It's not coming out. A woman had to be rescued by firefighters after falling into a toilet while trying to find her. Oh, she didn't see it. She was just trying to find it.
Oh, she was rummaging.
Worst.
Watch she turns around and it's just sitting in the urinal.
Oh,
She's like, wait, it's in my pocket.
her phone goes off her face.
Oh, I made a terrible mistake.
He looks like the dude off of Dumb and Dumber. There's shit all over my arm.
Everywhere on the radiator.
Oh my
on the
God.
mirror,
Cut
on
your
the sink.
losses and just
So
Oh,
she, the woman who was not named, I would not want to be named either.
we name our shooters, but not the woman who fell into the toilet.
She had been
Rummaging
using.
shit.
Here we go. She had been using her phone when it suddenly fell into a vault toilet. Look up vault toilet. See if we can find.
Can
what
we
that
get an
looks like.
image on the screen, please?
A vault
What's
toilet is a non-flush toilet. So, just sitting there, just fermenting. A vault toilet is a non-flush toilet which is constructed with a vault or a sealed container that is buried deep down in the ground.
All right,
Something
look
like
at
this
your
white
look
one
at
right
your
here.
screens. So
This
it
is-
it
so the
basically
one at
looks
the
like an
top-
outhouse.
The one at the top left looks exactly like it. Oh yeah. Oh my God, this poor lady.
Oh,
These things go down like 10 feet.
Yeah, that's what it says. Said the woman aged in her 40s managed to take the toilet seat off and used dog leads to try and get the phone.
Dog what?
When this didn't work, she
Dog
used
what?
the leads to tie herself to the toilet as she reached for it. But this resulted in her falling.
Do you see this photo?
Oh, falling in head first.
Are you saying leash? A dog leash?
Yeah, leash, same thing.
What's a?
You ever
I've
heard of a dog
never
lead?
heard it called a dog lead before in my life.
If you play Minecraft, it's called a lead.
Oh my God, this poor lady. She fell
What
in
just
head
happened?
first. Oh, she tried to get out for 10 to 15 minutes when she was.
Oh, wait.
Oh my God, she found it!
Because
she called 911 when
I was about to say, what, did she find her phone and
found-
call for help?
She found her phone.
Oh God.
Oh, here you go. Right there.
Oh,
Let's zoom in on that. There we go.
Oh, cool. There's a falcon.
Is
in
that a
there.
bird?
It's a falcon.
This is my shit. Nobody can have it.
It's like a dragon
Firefighters-
hoarding gold.
Firefighters passed her blocks to stand on to reach a harness when they arrived and pulled her out of the vault. After being washed down, the department said she was strongly encouraged to seek medical attention after being
And psychiatric help.
And then the firefighter said, "I've been doing this for 40 years, and that was a first."
Oh my god.
A funny sponsor post here right underneath it after talking about the girl was playing on her phone while at the toilet. It says, "If you have an iPhone, the Star Trek game is highly addictive."
Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh,
She's in
God.
the toilet going, and I'd like to take a second to talk about Raid Shadow Legends. And she's like,
You just start screaming to Twitch.
All right, well, I've got a happy one.
Video one
So-
or two?
Huh?
Video one or two?
No, this is not the video yet.
Oh,
This
my
is actually
goodness.
just a happy story that I saw where I was like, wow. This was in I believe this was in Iowa.
Ought to give Iowa a try.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, it was in Iowa. I'll read you the headline. Puppy wakes up after getting a lethal injection and gets a second chance at life.
Huh?
See, Clay's starting to cry.
"Ooh."
So this is in
And they
this is in
shot her where they
Iowa.
are.
Damn.
So it said, unfortunately, there are more dogs alive right now than there are owners who are willing to adopt them. As such, many dogs, cats, and other animals are commonly taken as pets. That are commonly taken in as pets. They live in shelters for months, if not years, waiting for adoption. And then whenever they get too old, or if they're sick, or if there's just too many, there's euthanization.
If
But
they do not name this puppy Jesus, I'm going to be very
he
upset.
already had a name. He already had a name, though. So this dog's name is
Lucky.
Rudolph.
Oh,
Yeah,
now I
Rudolph.
want a puppy. To...
Mhm. Well, it's got a happy ending.
What a dumb
So,
name.
Fucking
blah,
better,
blah,
I'm
blah,
about to cry over here.
Here we go. Okay. So it says Rudolph is a puppy that lives in the shelter in Iowa called King's Harvest Pet Rescue. The young black dog is only estimated to
It's gonna be
be.
black. Dylan?
Ah, Clay. Let me tell my happy story.
You had to go there.
The young black dog isn't estimated to be any older than 8 months old. Now, you guys can't see this on the screen, but here is a picture
Oh
of
my
Rudolph.
god, he's adorable! Look at
There's,
his floopy ears.
there's Rudolph, okay?
Wait,
He's
why
a
would they
pit
name
bull.
him Rudolph?
He's like a
Uh,
pit bull.
but it
There's no
said-
red nose.
It said Rudolph was found as a stray animal. He was taken to the shelter in Iowa. Unfortunately for him, the shelter was completely overfull
I bet it was a
already.
PETA shelter.
So listen, they just let people that work there name the dogs if they're stray. Because my dog's name, which is now Goose, was Cinnamon.
Which is what we call
It's
you.
This
different name.
poor dude, I was, adopting him, and the lady's like, "So, how old is she?" I said, "He."
He.
Can you change that
It's
to
a
Goose?
penis.
It's a big.
Did you just assume the dog's gender?
Oh fuck!
All right,
My
so,
dog's gonna cancel me.
So it said that the shelter was already overfull, and it said the shelter had no open spaces. As such, young Rudolph was selected to be euthanized. The vet loaded up a high-dose shot of barbiturates, whatever, I don't
You know what? Let's stick with that. Barbiturates.
barbiturates, to cause a quick, humane death in the puppy. Rudolph went lights out within seconds of the injection. And then, even though it was a heavy injection, he wakes back up.
He said, "Surprise, motherfucker!"
He wakes back up.
He's like, "The fuck was that?"
They took him in. They did all the blood work, all that kind of stuff. No health problems whatsoever.
I bet he's got
It
no problem
just-
getting adopted now.
It just didn't work. He was then taken to King's Harvest Pet Rescue, a no-kill shelter, where his story was shared online.
Oh, he was taken to after he was taken to a new no-kill
They
shelter.
took him to
They
one
were
that
like,
was a
we
no-kill.
can't kill this motherfucker. We better get rid of him.
And it says within a few hours of the shelter posting his story, a breeder from Des Moines, Iowa, decided to pick up Rudolph. He breeds dogs that are primarily given to veterans and other people in need of service dogs.
Des Moines.
Rudolph has been taken into his new home, and he is now getting a second chance.
So
on
there's
life.
this reminds me of a story of a comedian. I don't remember if it was Bert Kreischer or not. They're talking about how they took this dog to get put down because it was in really bad health.
Mm-hmm.
They were like giving him the shot, and they're like, it's just gonna take a minute, and then the dog doesn't die, and the dog's just like, what the fuck is going on, guys?
What's up?
And then a lady
the shit
goes,
you give me?
hold on, I'll be right back. And he thought she was going to go get another dose or something. She comes back and she goes, we've had a little mix up. We just gave we just gave the dog electrolytes. So he's gonna have a boost of energy, and then we're gonna kill him. And then he
I
said,
thought you were
holy
gonna say-
shit, what did you give the other dog? Did you just give a dog fucking, did you just go kill the dog the next year? And she's like, I'll be right back.
I thought you were going to say she left and she entered the room again with a hammer. Like, all right, you're going to want to step out
Can you
now.
imagine you go in, gotta get my dog an upper.
Electrolytes.
Get him an upper.
What's wrong with him?
Why is he sleeping?
What did you do? Let me see if I can find who it
Oh my
was.
God.
Dude, he said they gave it to him, and he's like, well, what's wrong with the other dog? Oh my God.
From now on, going to the vet, you're just gonna be like, let me see that vial.
Can we double check that, please?
Can I see the label?
Well, there are usually 2 doses that
Oh,
they
it's Chris
give them. One
DiStefano.
puts them to sleep, and then one of them's the actual injection.
Oh, really?
Oh, this is 2 minutes long. Here,
That's how it was with my dog.
Rest in peace, Jasmine.
No, we're not listening to the whole thing,
It's
Clay.
2
You
minutes.
just told the
No.
story. No.
He talks about it at the end.
Yes.
I'll see.
Also, we'll get copy claims.
No, whenever we put
Whatever.
whenever we put my dog down, she was just old, and it was either, I mean, her livers were shutting down, her kidney was shutting down, she wasn't moving, so it was like either put her down or we're gonna find her just gone within the next 48 hours at the house.
Mhm.
They put her down, but the first dose that they give her puts her to sleep,
Yeah.
and it knocks them out hard, like tongue hanging out, all that stuff. And then the second one is the actual lethal injection, so that they don't feel it. They just went to sleep in your arms,
went to
and
sleep.
they just don't wake back up.
Yep.
And you're allowed to stay in, at least where we went, that you were allowed to stay in the room for as much or as little as you
Twin
wanted.
Naples? Is that where you went?
No,
Outside
we went
the
to MedVet.
That's where my mother-in-law took her dogs to Twin Maples.
Yeah, I went to
'Cause-
Twin Maples with my dog Buddy.
She just wasn't feeling good, so we took her up thinking that she was like constipated or something, and it was liver and kidney failure.
She was old, wasn't she?
She was 16 and a half.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it was just
Because
it was
I remember that dog when we were young.
it was just her time to go. So
Yeah.
it was like, but I mean, still doesn't affect. I bawled my eyes out over
did
that
too.
9-pound dog. You kidding
So
me?
That little noodle.
when we put
Huh?
That little noodle.
Oh yeah, my little wiener dog. I cried like a bitch.
When
I was
we
like,
put-
that was my buddy.
we put my dog Buddy to sleep, and I was
Buddy.
fine until like he was my childhood dog, right? As soon as I walked in the room and I saw him on the table, just just
Looking
deflated.
sad.
Oh, it was over. I couldn't
Well,
contain myself.
We held Jasmine while she went to sleep.
Mhm.
And then we said our goodbyes. We put her on the table, and they said you can stay as long as you want. And they said, but they gave us a warning. They said when we do the lethal injection, they said she will most likely release her bowels.
Mm.
And I went, I don't need to see
Just
that.
like
ever.
humans.
Yep. And I'm
That's
like,
what we did with
I'm like,
Buddy.
is she already gone? And she was just kind of like hanging there. And the vet was like, she's no longer awake. She can't see you.
Yeah.
She went to sleep.
Why does that happen?
Why
What?
do you release
When-
your bowels?
when-
Because all your muscles that are holding it
They
in
just
float out.
relax.
yeah, you have
It just
muscles that are
slips out?
holding it
That's why
in.
when humans die, they release their bowels.
So wait,
It's not immediate like
so
in
the
the
muscles
movies
relax and then it just
Huh.
kind of moves its way out.
Mhm.
That's why people normally like have fluids. They pee and they poop and they die.
I mean, I pee
But
and I
it's-
poop and I'm still alive. So.
Yeah, but it's not like in like South
choose-
Park, like where
it's
like
not. It's not.
it's not like in South Park, like where you die and somebody goes. It's not like that. It just releases,
Yeah.
and it doesn't all come out right at once.
Like a
It's just-
nice long fart. Just burn.
Usually
question
when they're on the
mark at the
corner table.
How did we talk about a dog getting a second chance at life and still get back to death?
All right, Dylan. Thanks for that fucking depressing story.
All right, well
just
now,
kidding. Thanks,
now
Rudolph.
you can
doing
pull
good.
up video number 2.
Already on.
Nope, that's number 1. There we go. So we talked about this. Since we've been talking about a lot of depressing shit today. No, not that one.
Oh my god.
The other one.
He said number 2.
I'll give
Jamie,
you
pull up number 2.
Here we go. Clay already showed us. Clay already showed us his. Everybody has a trigger video, right?
Oh god.
You have that one video that you save in your camera reel.
Can
so
you
that
see over the steering wheel?
Oh, just wait, it gets better. Just so that whenever no matter what's going on, it makes you laugh. So I want to hear your guys' predictions as to what my 12-second trigger video is.
Is this a screen capture of your phone?
No, it's a
So you're
screen.
telling me somebody screen captured this and couldn't have cropped it?
Yeah. Oh,
It's
I'm
not-
bothered.
it goes away, but somebody screen captured it and sent it to me.
Stefano did.
Yep, Stefano.
Thank you, Stefano. Oh no, McLaren. No.
Luminary garage.
Dude,
Tal,
he's-
tal, tal. Mia, mia, mia. Okay.
Oh,
One more time. Never fails. Never
Dude, his
fails.
hands were already fucked up. He's being a midget. Like,
Luminary garage. Tal, tal,
It's the
tal.
scream.
Mia, mia, mia.
don't put your hand there.
Okay.
Oh God! Oh my God!
Because it's not like a screech. It's
Just go
it's
back
like-
2 seconds, and everybody stay quiet. Just listen to the cut-off scream.
It's like a horrified scream. Ah. Oh my God. Dude, that reminds me when I was a kid, I slammed my hand in the door of the van when I was a younger one. Oh my God.
I'm not listening to a word you're saying.
That's all right.
I am gone
That gives me PTSD.
Every
to fucking do
time.
that.
every time. Oh my god.
He said, "What?"
I don't
like
even
Mario.
I don't even know where it came from. It was just in a group chat.
My guess is not this country.
It was in a group chat years ago, and it was just that video that I was like,
Can
I
we talk
need
about
this
how
now.
he sent it at 6:45 a.m.? He was like, "I gotta show Dylan."
Oh.
woke up for school or whatever, and I gotta show Dylan.
Oh my god.
2019, those were the days.
All right, so what is this other one, Dylan?
Oh, this would kickstart us into
More
into the-
depressing information.
Yes. Go ahead.
Hold on. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I think that would
You see that, my fellow patriots? Joe Biden's president for 2 years, and all of a sudden, Taco Bell's charging $5,500 for a fucking quesadilla.
For a fucking quesadilla. Obviously, it's a glitch, but it's not that far off. Just from
It's about $5,000, $555 off.
well, because I knew you wanted to talk about Taco Bell, but just fast food in
We
general.
already
but
talked
also,
about that.
but also just inflation in general with
It's pretty
everything.
Nobody has the money for anything extra right now.
Speak for yourself. I also
Buy
work-
your
I al-
house.
I also work
Buy
like
your
75
house.
hours a week, so
Yeah, I have a life, and I still, I mean,
Instead of dropping thousands of dollars on RC cars, maybe
Two.
put a little extra on the premium of the. of
I'm
the
sorry.
House, of the
I'm
house.
sorry, Dylan. The amount that I have spent on my RC cars over the
Mhm.
course of 2 months, you have made in
2
2
months. I thought it was a couple weeks.
that's a month.
No,
Yes.
it's 2 months.
You said that outside. You said this is like.
I said 3 months outside.
You said 3 weeks outside.
No, I said months.
He said weeks.
I've had the big. I bought the car that I sold.
It's
3
fake-
weeks ago.
It's fake news. He said 3 weeks.
It's the largest
Anyway.
amount of money that anybody has ever seen. It's
gonna be fantastic.
Anyways,
gonna be
Dylan.
fantastic. It's gonna be the best ever.
Instead of worrying about my spending habits, maybe you should find a job that actually pays you.
He
That's
has a
what I'm
passion
doing.
that's different.
Yeah, and I'm getting us place this summer. I'm so excited to finally be restarting
Yay! Out of your mom's side room,
out of my old bedroom.
out of your old bedroom. That's no longer your bedroom, but
Due
it's
to
now
the
your
fact that
bedroom
at 25 years old, I had to restart my life. That was a lot of fun. Thanks, COVID. Go fuck
Everybody
yourself.
had to restart their life.
Except I moved across the country.
Yep.
That sounds like a you problem.
That sounds like a get me the fuck out of California problem.
Get off this sinking ship. That's how it was.
I still
So-
see, like where I used to work out there, I still see people that are like Well,
struggling.
I mean, half of them left, but it's like they're still just implementing all these rules that just makes it impossible to work. It's like, I mean, I don't know. Now they're on the whole. I don't know if I don't know if the actual company is, but now it's not even about the vaccine. It's about the boosters.
Mm-hmm.
How many
Seriously?
boosters are there right now?
Even after all the Pfizer data was just dropped?
I'm seeing. I follow a Cincinnati-based casting company that puts out stuff for like extras or background or just anything that they need.
That's proof
And-
that it's all about
Control.
It's all about control and not about actual results.
No, because they are now putting out all their jobs, which they're getting people dropping left and right, and there are now people arguing in the comment sections. They're like, this is ridiculous. Now it says you have to be fully vaxxed, fully boosted, and you have to then pass a COVID test and be able to do something else. All that for 1 day's work.
God damn it.
I hope they were able to hear that.
Yes.
They could hear that.
Oh.
Can we make a sound bite out of that scream?
God.
What's wrong?
No.
You've got the
I'm just bugging
oh
you.
my god! I thought he had it muted so that they
The whole
couldn't hear it.
time, I swear. Boom, boom. Just do it on your thing real quick if you can.
I don't have it set up right now.
Oh, we'll have to save it. That's gonna
we
be
stopped
that's
using
gonna be
it.
a
So I
sound
stopped
bite.
setting it up. For me.
That's gonna.
Boom, boom. Like MXC style.
But no, yeah,
the
that
good days.
the Taco Bell video got me laughing just because of he's like my fellow patriots, but also because it is.
So, on that note about inflation,
Uh-oh.
him and I went to Hothead, 2-3 weeks ago?
Oh my god.
And the manager was super nice, and we were just joking around. And
we were like, man, it's gotten pretty pricey.
I said,
was
dude,
like,
I remember when it was $6.97 for a chicken burrito, regular size burrito. And
It's
he
like
goes,
10 now,
I
right?
paid like
He
$10.50
said-
for a quesadilla, and then he goes, yeah, and price is about to go back up again. I was
Yeah.
like,
because
Go
of the
back
chicken
up.
shortage.
they're going about to go up again.
They haven't gone down.
There's a shortage of everything. There's a baby formula shortage. There's a freaking cat food, dog food shortage. It's just like,
But we send billions to other countries.
we also bomb our own stuff here, but nobody's talking about that.
We send billions to other countries.
This is where I'd put my. This is where I'd put my billions.
If I had any.
If I had one.
So it's going.
It's so good. Why did that child man have a fucking McLaren? And
I
we
don't-
can't afford baby formula. Okay, hit it real fast.
Oh my god.
We are
Okay. Okay.
children. One more. Dun,
right.
dun, 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 dun.
Nah. It ain't happening.
Oh,
You guys can't just sit there and expect me to get it
If
perfectly.
you do it like 5 times.
Oh god.
Jesus.
But no, yeah, and I know a lot of people talk about how they're like, oh, you know, food going up or like fast food going up a couple dollars is not the problem. We're like, no, that's not actually the problem. That's just an example.
Yeah,
That's
an
just-
example that's
that's
very
one of the
clearly in
things.
front of everybody right now. Everybody sees it. Nobody says anything. I don't go to
Who
McDonald's
was it? They
anymore.
were talking about gas and all that too, and I think it was Stephen Colbert. Oh God, he
said, "I don't care. I got a Tesla."
No, he said he was talking about
gladly
how,
Can't
like,
afford gas? Get a $50,000 car.
Yeah.
It was like literally how after the president switch and all that, like within a month it had gone up like $1 to $1.50, and he went, you know what? A clean conscience is worth the extra money.
No, it's not.
And everybody applauded him, and then they went, wait, you make $17 million a year. It's like-
He said, "I'll gladly pay $5 a gallon if it means we're not using
No, he goes,
Ukraine or Russia."
He's like, I would pay $10 a gallon.
for no mean tweet.
"Did you see that they're actually remaking the gas station like numbers
To add an
to where
extra
it's going to
digit?
have another fucking character? So
Mhm.
it's going to be $10 at some point."
They say, I don't know what company it is that averages all this, but they say that the average nationwide price come August is supposed to be around $6.
So listen to this. I had this conversation with my
People
father.
will quit their jobs.
Yeah. Well, people don't want to work right now either.
But I mean, like, if it costs that, there's already stores that are putting up signs saying we can't open today. Nobody came in.
Oh, it happens
'cause they
all the
didn't-
time.
'cause they don't have gas.
we only have one person, so yeah, we can't open. It's like, Jesus Christ. But
Just want
I
my
had
taco.
I had this conversation with my dad about this. So they are pushing all of these electric cars. Buy this Rivian. Buy this Tesla. Buy this. And then
Actually, they're not pushing
hold
Tesla.
on. They're pushing to buy an electric car. It's a
Right,
Tesla.
but no, hold on. The government
this
is
doesn't
very
matter.
against
This doesn't
Tesla.
matter. This isn't a part of this conversation.
Well, they don't like Tesla because they don't like Elon Musk
I know,
anymore
which is
because
why
now
they-
he's against him.
Because he's a crypto lord.
It
Anyway,
was the same thing they did with Trump, is that everybody endorsed him
Hold on,
a
hold
long
on,
time ago,
hold on.
and then he came out
This
as
isn't-
Republican, and they switched their minds.
this isn't about any of that stuff. I'm talking. The government will tell you, buy an electric car. Don't care what it is. Buy an electric car. You complain, oh my God, that's $10 a gallon. Don't have a gas car because it's ruining the universe. It's doing this. It's ruining that. Do you know how bad lithium batteries, LiPo batteries for RC cars, for like big cars, big buses? Do you know how bad those are for the world?
Probably not.
Lithium mining is terrible for the
And
environment.
it's done with children.
But listen, they
you
will
do-
do this. They will die on that hill saying that, oh, yeah, you fucking are killing the universe because you bought this electric or this gas car. Come
Environment.
30 years from now, where we're still in the same climate that's happening right now, they're going to say, you didn't do it enough. And then we're going to be like, what the fuck? I have an electric car. You have an electric. Yeah, but like not everybody
well,
did it.
You
Not
know what they
everybody
were
did it.
talking about doing with electric cars, right?
Hmm.
I don't know if this was a state thing or a nation thing. I don't think it actually. Nothing's gone through. It's just like they were talking about.
Never
it.
will.
They were saying like when everybody gets electric cars, then they were proposing an extra electric car tax
It's
that
already
you had
been
to
done.
pay because you're not paying the gas
Taxes.
tax anymore.
So
it was like I don't know if it was when you bought the car or if it was
is.
like an annual thing.
So listen to this.
It's like another $10,000.
I know somebody that bought a new, I think it's maybe a Nissan or a Chevy Spark, where
Chevy
it's
Spark.
it's an electric vehicle, but it has a generator for the electric system. So
Wait,
it does use gas.
The Chevy Spark isn't electric. It's the Chevy Volt.
It's not the Volt then. It's some small compact car, not the Chevy Volt.
Whichever.
The Spark is
But
what Jet
listen,
is. What
it
Jet
has
had
a
in high school.
generator on board. It's not connected to the wheels. It's not anything to do with the moving of the car. It's charging. It runs your electronics in your car, all that kind of stuff when the battery's dead.
Mm-hmm.
So when he bought this car, he was like, oh, this is great. I'm never going to have to pay for gas. You know, I can use this. The way it is set up in the government doesn't move the wheels, remind you. It's not an electric car. It's a hybrid. And you said, but hold on. It's not, though, because I still have to pay for gas for that. They're like, nope, it's a hybrid, not an electric car. So he got taxed for a hybrid, which is really far up there. And he also got taxed as an electric car. They double dipped. I don't know how that's legal. But
no
they're
matter what they say and no matter what you do, they will continue to change their minds and all that because one, they're not going to lose a penny.
Yeah.
And two, it's not about the actual issues. It's never about the issues. It's about the money.
Controlling the money.
So
Well,
he
because
got
they're always-
taxed. He was supposed to get the bounce back for the electric car, but they're like, yeah, but it's not an electric car, it's a hybrid. He's like, what the fuck? I just spent $40,000 on this vehicle.
Well, it's the
and
same with just
I
a
can't even
normal
do it.
electric car. It's like they're pushing you to buy all these.
It was California, by the way. Registration
Yeah,
there.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
But the registration, that's what it was. It was the registration. He went to register it, and they're like, this is a hybrid. He's like, no, it's an electric car. They're like, no, it's a hybrid. In our system, it's put down as a hybrid, even though it's not moving the wheels. It's a 2-cylinder. No, it might be a 1-cylinder. Just in the cock or in the
In the
hood.
cock.
In the cock. In the cock. I almost said that cockpit, but it's like that has nothing to do with the wheels of the car moving. They're like, well, it still emits gas, so it's a
It's
hybrid.
because
So stupid.
it's all money. It's all do what I tell you
So
to
it's
do,
like
even though I'm flying.
$5,000.
Well, they're all like, you guys are not driving enough electric cars. Excuse me, I'm gonna go preach that to another state. Fire up my jet. So
Yeah,
it's,
exactly.
Oh, it's like the 1,500 private jets that all went to the climate accords.
I hate to say it, but jet fuel is actually like diesel. It's not really that bad for the
Well, it doesn't
environment. It's bad
matter.
for the environment.
Yes, but
it's
they're
not
still
gas.
complaining about people flying
I agree.
commercial.
I agree.
It's just it goes back
Still
to
fly
the
commercials.
It goes
Let's go
back to
pilot.
the rules for thee, but not for me.
Exactly.
Everything goes to that. It's do what I say, not what I do.
But I'm only one person, so I don't make a difference.
Because it's like,
Bullshit.
imagine spending all your money trying to buy an electric car saying, I'm actually making a difference. And then they say, well, the oil companies are losing money, so now we're passing that bill on
Not
to
to
you.
mention
Exactly.
that the entire United States is less than 13% of the entire emissions in the world. And we have dropped dramatically in the last 20 years about how much we're actually putting out. Meanwhile, China and places like India they're building more and more and more and more coal plants every single week. So
China.
But they never. But when they complain, they only complain about the Western world. They never complain about China, because if they get mad at China will take away a lot of their kickbacks. So
China controls the world.
China.
Just saying.
Literally, though.
Literally, everything sitting on this table was made in China. Even Dylan.
What?
What?
I do have one thing to wrap it up on, though.
All right.
One light
Quickly.
thing. When was the last time we had a thunderstorm? Just the other day, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys do during the
I
thunderstorm?
watched that shit
Masturbate.
hard.
What? Oh, hold up.
Wait, he said he watched it hard, and I said masturbate.
I said I watched that shit hard. I had my windows open and shit.
Oh, okay, you said I watched that shit, and in the background, all I hear was masturbate. Don't masturbate in the shower.
Yep.
Did you know that during a thunderstorm? I had no idea.
You're not supposed to take a shower. You didn't know
There's
that?
like 40 people a year that die from electrocution.
I like those chances.
What if you
Go
have-
out doing what you love.
I was going to say, but what if you're like, God, come on, give me some. Give me a little electricity.
Give me a little.
I'm
give me a
holding
little
my
jolt.
lightning rod.
Give me lightning.
But I had no idea about that. I don't know. I just randomly came
Dylan
across
gets
this
in the
thing.
Haley gives me crap every time I take a shower in a thunderstorm.
Yeah, apparently it was, and I mean, obviously it makes sense because
water.
electricity travels through water and,
And
metal,
metal,
and all
yeah.
that stuff. But I never thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that if lightning hits one of those things outside, or hits like a main line, or just whatever, all of a sudden you're zapped in. I mean, you might as well have just taken the toaster in with you. But pulled this thing up that said,
I'm again just wishful thinking.
says on average, 10 to 20 people get struck by lightning while bathing, using faucets, or handling an appliance during a storm. And then it says, in order to stay safe indoors during the next thunderstorm,
Don't touch
remember
anything.
now this shows how dated this is. Stay off your corded phone.
But I wanted to talk to Jenny down the street.
Anybody got any of those anymore?
My
Yes,
grandma does.
Oh, you
still.
do?
I do.
A corded phone?
The one with the thing that gets wrapped around you and you're like, oh my God.
No.
Like the
No,
one
no,
where
I
you
know.
have to
I
like
don't have one
punch
anymore.
every number, and if they have a 0 in their number, you're like,
That's
I don't want
not-
to talk to that.
That's a
not the
rotary
only-
phone.
Yeah, that's not the only corded phone you
You
uncultured
That's what
swine.
comes to mind when I think corded phone.
Corded
Did you
phone
know-
is
hold
a
on.
corded phone.
Did you know that kids these days will never understand why we say hang up the phone?
Oh yeah, because you actually had to.
Hang up the phone.
Ching.
Why'd you say that? Oh my God.
Did you
No,
know
yeah.
the three of us are older than Google?
Yep.
Where's my kickbacks?
The other thing that I think is like bullshit that we had to go through that the next generation doesn't. They don't have the fear of calling a girl's house and praying to God that her dad doesn't answer the phone.
Is Jenny there? No, this is
It was
Steve. What do
always
you need Jenny for?
Terrifying. Hi, is okay. So is Allison there? Who's
No.
calling? This is Dylan from school.
who's giving it
Oh.
to her.
I don't think. Well, not when you're a child.
She's not home.
But I remember that whenever you used to make calls, or like, do you remember the old days when you actually walked around the neighborhood to go find your friends?
Yep.
I remember walking into people's houses and being like, oh, they're not here?
Alaric,
Hi.
you still
wow.
do that. You still walk into people's houses.
Yeah, but I don't ask if people are here, though. I just
I
walk in.
remember being at my dad's whenever I was little. I think it was Jess, Charlene, Harley, maybe Shannon, all them. They had come around the neighborhood, and they had done that like.
Let's
all
go
of a
pick up the other guy.
Hold on,
Let's
who?
go pick up the other person.
Who? Jan?
Oh
Yeah,
God.
okay, got
But I remember I was doing something up in my room. I was probably playing
would
with
you do that?
Legos or something.
Took me by
And my dad comes up and he goes, Dylan, you know there are people outside for you. And I went, how am I
do
supposed to
now.
know that? And then I opened the window and they're like, there he is. And I'm like, what is... But it's just...
We should do that at Shane's house. We
It's just-
go
yeah.
to my house, hang out, and then we'd walk up to Shane's house and we'd
and
be
see
like,
if he was there.
anybody home? And then
But it
his
was-
dad would answer, and we're like, is Shane home? He's like, I think so.
I still know his home number.
These are
Do
made
you
in
really?
America.
859?
Don't say it on here.
No, I'm just saying it was
5955
55
5. But no, it's the little things like that that the kids nowadays are never going to have to go through. They just call them. They're texting them. They're texting them, Snapchatting.
Dude, they don't
and all
remember
that.
numbers for shit. I don't remember numbers.
I don't know my own girlfriend's number.
I was about to say I don't know Carmen's number.
I know my family's phone numbers, and that's just because I had to call them.
I remember
so
my
many times
parents-
A day.
I don't know. I don't remember my own old home phone number.
I know my home number, my cell phone number, obviously, my mom and my dad. I think that's all I've got.
I know Dylan's number by heart just because of how stupidly easy it is.
I love
What is
my
it?
number. Don't say it!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I'll call it now.
Damn it.
Dylan!
That's
Just
why,
say it has a 1, a 2, and a 3 in it.
that's why I get
All right,
so many
ladies and
listener calls.
gentlemen, this has been a very depressing, funny. We've had some ups and we've had some downs.
Well, this has been a long
We've had
one,
some
but
Adderall, and we've had some...
what we'll do is either in the description or in the comments, we'll put a timestamp so that people can pick and choose what they want to jump to. Because
I'll
we
let
went,
you do that.
yes, we went on a tyrant there.
Whoa, yes.
And sometimes people are like, you know what? I don't want to hear about this.
I
yet."
agree.
Remember, folks, at the end of the day, we may get heated with each other.
because
we-
we love each other.
Speak for yourself,
that's pushing it.
Hey,
quite a
fuck
bit.
you, I love you. Fuck.
I fucking love you
I
guys.
love you.
Except for you.
Thank you.
I'll let you guys decide who I was talking to.
All right, so
I
remember
hope
to
it's
like,
not me.
subscribe, comment, hit that bell notification, and tell us what you think in the comments.
Today could be a quite controversial episode, so do
Feel-
tell us your thoughts in the comments.
Feel free to tell us if you are a red-blooded, true patriot American
Oh,
and
Jesus.
love
Shut up,
guns,
shut up,
or if
shut
you're-
up, shut
or
up,
if you're
shut
like
up,
Dylan
shut up.
and you
Or if you
believe
agree
the
with Dylan.
Constitution is just toilet paper. You know, I
What the
mean,
fuck?
whatever.
Just wipe the Constitution with your butthole like Dylan does. So
Shall not be
Just
infringed.
we're just kidding. No step on snake.
I'm not kidding.
That's my ass, bro. Stop.